Gentlemen, welcome back to another video. My name is Striker. I've done this start of this video about 3 times because I say my name is Striker and then I wait for Luba to say my name is Luba, but she's not on this video today. But I've told her about this video that I'm going to make and she wants to do a follow-up video based on her thoughts, her experiences as a woman from Ukraine, or as a woman and a woman from Ukraine. So how do we begin with this video, right? So it's an unusual topic. It's a topic that nobody would ever talk about, but it's something that I've thought about for a long time. I'm going to say about, if I was to ballpark it, I would say probably about 2 years. And I think that it's a very important topic. I mean, like, we make videos and there are lots of videos out there about like things that you should do when you're in Ukraine, things that you shouldn't do while you're dating in Ukraine, 5 things for this and whatever. And those are all very useful videos for guys that are, you know, looking to go over to Ukraine and do some dating and try to understand the culture and the dating scene a little bit better, right? But sometimes I think it's good to think on another level. Like, get past the top surface and come down a few levels as well, because you know, there's a lot of things that as men we don't understand. Quite often it's because we've been led down the wrong path, especially with Western dating culture, the conditioning that's put forth onto us over there, and then we try and use that when we come over to Ukraine and it just doesn't work. But I think in this case here, I think that this is something that's important regardless of the country or the culture or wherever it is that you're from. And I want to talk about it in this video here, and I want to, and it's not that I have the answer for this, it's merely just me getting these thoughts out of my head, passing them on to you guys thinking about them as well, going forward into the future. And maybe it'll be something that's like a collective type, some collective type reasoning, right? So if you guys have thoughts about this video, listen to the end and then put your thoughts or your experiences, especially for you guys that have been married or been in long-term relationships, and how it affected you. Put them in the comments down below. So what is this video about? This video is about being comfortable in a relationship, and is being comfortable the reason the relationship died. Haven't used that intro for a while, but Luba mentioned it the other day and I had a few people say that they missed it, so I thought I'd throw it in there for nostalgic reasons, but I promise I won't ever do it again. Let's talk about you know, being comfortable in a relationship, right? Because this is the thing that really got to me, right? It was that whenever you talk to someone or you've been, like, just think about this for a second, you've been in a relationship for a long period of time, for years, you know, well past the honeymoon phase, obviously, you can always look back at that relationship and you will say something along the lines of this: we just got too comfortable with each other. And I said this to someone a couple of years ago when I was talking about, you know, my past relationships. And it sort of resonated with me. It's that, you know, you got too comfortable in a relationship, because prior to that, I thought that you're supposed to be comfortable in a relationship, right? She's got to be comfortable with you and you have to be comfortable with her. But is there a line in the sand that you have to draw, or that there should be drawn in the sand, where if you become too comfortable, the relationship ends, right? So this is the thing that I've been thinking about, right? Is it possible to be so comfortable, to be too comfortable with each other in a relationship, that this is going to be the demise of your relationship going forward? So when you start dating, right, there's always going to be this level of discomfort, right? So to start off this, let's talk about her, and then towards the end of the video, I'm going to talk about us as men in this, like, with this problem that I think that there is, right? So when you start dating a woman, okay? I'm not even going to say a woman from Ukraine. I'm just going to say dating a woman. There has to be a level of discomfort with her when it comes to the actual dating process, right? Before you're actually like in a proper relationship. Let's just talk about that part there, because afterwards we can discuss, or we can think about once you get into the relationship, right? So there's going to be this discomfort, this uncomfortableness from her at the start of the relationship, right? Because She has to be in a position where, you take her out on a date. And she has to be on that date, and she has to be thinking that she is with a man that has higher value than her. This is the fundamentals of hypergamy. That he has a higher value than her, and that there's something special about him, and that makes something special about her in his eyes, right? If that makes sense. Because if she was feeling that he was beneath her, right? That he wasn't going to be a catch, or he wasn't going to be a win for her, then the relationship would never progress further anyway, right? Because women date up. We already know that, right? So her dating this man at the very start of the relationship, she has to feel uncomfortable. She has to go home hoping that he's going to message her. And when he hasn't messaged her or called her, she has to feel this feeling inside of anxiety that she's, did she do something wrong on the date? Was there something that she could have done, better to impress him a little bit more? Because if she goes home without those feelings, with a complete feeling of comfortableness, then I don't believe the relationship will go further. Now, if, we could ask a woman this question. And I've talked to Luba about this before, and I've told her my thoughts on this. And when I said I was going to make this video, she said, okay, I'll make a follow-up video for this based on what she thinks, being a woman, and also from Ukraine as well. So subscribe and watch out for that video, because I'm very interested to see it also. But the woman has to have this level of discomfort, this level of almost like she's not really worthy of being on a date with this man. Because if she thinks that, that this man is, basically beneath her, I know it sounds horrible, but that she is of a higher status than what he is, then she's never going to feel that. She's going to feel total comfortableness in that situation, right? I believe that if a woman goes on a date with a man and afterwards her description of that date to her friends is that he was a nice guy and I felt totally comfortable with him, I don't think that this is a good sign. I think that she needs to have a slight infatuation with the guy. The guy did something where she was like, wow. Now, I'm not saying a huge infatuation, because this is a topic for another day, and this can definitely lead to some disappointment on her behalf, right? So we won't discuss that in this video here, but I think that she needs to feel on edge. She needs to feel nervous. She needs to feel like she needs to present herself in a way that's going to impress this guy, right? So if she felt completely comfortable with this guy, completely relaxed, she doesn't have to be on her best behavior, I don't think it's a good place to start a relationship from, because it always kind of goes down a little bit, with the comfort levels always going to drop. And think about it this way, right? So, as men pursuing a woman, we never want to overstep that boundary where we are too keen, where we become the guy that's chasing the woman, right? Because even if at the first interaction the woman was interested in you and then you started pursuing her aggressively, then she's not going to be attracted to that, right? The attraction level is going to go down. Why? Because the man's value has gone down. Why has it gone down? Because he's pursuing her. She wants to be with a man that she is pursuing, because that means that he is of a higher level. Again, it's hypergamy, right? It's the fundamentals of hypergamy, is that she needs to pursue him. She needs to look up to him. If she's thinking that he's an easy catch, and when she's with him that she feels comfortable, nothing really has to be done. The comfort level that she has means that she can let her guard down. She doesn't have to put her best foot forward, and she doesn't have to impress him in any way whatsoever. So I firmly believe, right, that a woman, when she has an interaction with a man, first interaction, or, first, second, first date, whatever, she has to be looking up to this man, thinking that she is honored to be in the presence of this man. Now, that's not something that's misogynistic or anything like that. So, it's just the way that it is, right? A woman has to be led by a man. That is his role, whether it comes to leading the family, being the protector, the provider in a relationship, right? She's looking for that. It's not that you're placing it in front of her and say, hey, take it. She wants it and she's looking for it. So if she doesn't feel that, right, there's a level of not giving a shit, right? She really doesn't care. And this is wrong, because she has to always present herself in the most feminine way possible in order to attract a man that has masculine traits. Therefore, my conclusion of thinking about this at this point here when it comes to her is that she has to feel uncomfortable. And I also think the man also has to have a slight bit of discomfort but we'll talk about that in a second. But just think about it this way, right? So if you are pursuing a woman aggressively, she loses all interest in you. Think about it for yourself as well. If you understand that the woman is interested in you, very interested in you, you also lose that attraction, right? Because there's not that wondering, there's not that thinking. You didn't send that text message and she read it and she didn't reply just yet. There's this discomfort that has to be present when it comes to the courtship part of the relationship. One thing that I think that we have to understand, right, is that it's not our job to make a woman feel comfortable. And, the more I've thought about it, the more ridiculous it is. And I've heard it along the way. It's, I just wanted her to be comfortable. I understand being comfortable in a physical sense, right? She's not cold. The seat that she's sitting on is comfortable. I get all of those things, and making sure she's comfortable in that sense is good, right? It shows that you can take care of her on all these small levels, right? These things are good. But what I'm talking about is her feeling comfortable that she's got you in the bag if she wants you, whenever she wants. This is the part we need to think about, right? I think that both parties need to have this sense of uncomfortableness, right? Because if you didn't have that, you wouldn't be on your best behavior. She wouldn't dress absolutely beautiful. You wouldn't make sure your shoes are clean and you've got a fresh haircut when you go to the date. And, there's this thing called the honeymoon period, like for all relationships. And it's like we're on your best behavior. You both look good. You're both taking care of yourself. You're both going to the gym. You're both making sure that the other person doesn't leave you. That's the uncomfortable part about that relationship, right? You're worried about, that person might find someone better than me. That person is such a good catch. I need to be on my best behavior. I need to put my best foot forward to make sure that that person stays with me. So if that's true for the start of the relationship, for the courtship part, right? We don't always want to be thinking that as men. In fact, it's needed 100% for certain that she needs to be feeling that. And if it's the man that's always feeling that, then the man will become needy. And so this becomes the dilemma that's really plagued on me for quite some time. So if you understand that, right, and the man is feeling uncomfortable, if you are feeling uncomfortable, and we understand that, if the man is thinking that she's going to leave him, that leads to the man being insecure, and a woman doesn't want a man to be insecure. So if we were to separate these two ideas, where the woman need to feel a little bit insecure, a little bit uncomfortable, and to be feeling as though that the man that she is with is a huge win for her. If the man was to feel the same thing, that would turn the woman off, right? So it has to be different for the man and for the woman. The woman has to be chasing the man. He has to be seen as the best possible option for her. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So if we understand that, but we also understand that if a man is feeling discomfort because the woman may leave him because she's the best option that he has, that's not going to work, right? Because he has to understand that he is the best option for her. Not the other way around, right? If she picks up on that sense, and she will, that he's needy and that she was the best option, she will lose attraction for him very, very fast, right? So let's think about us as men, right? We've talked about women. Women need to have this in their life. They need to have this level of discomfort. And if you ask them about it, for sure they will tell you, no, I want to feel comfortable with a man. Don't listen to it. It's fake, it's false, don't listen to it. They need to have that on the edge feeling that he may leave because he may have better options, right? Okay, so let's talk about us as men. I think at the start of the relationship, we also have to have that, right? We have to have that feeling that she is the best option. Otherwise, why would you do it, right? You have to take the best option for you, the woman that you feel that you can build a long-term relationship with, because you see her as a high-value option. So we also should have that feeling of uncomfortableness. But if we understand that she's pursuing a man with value, that has goals, that has drive, that has ambition, that has these aspirations in life, we need to pursue that. And so this is the conclusion that I came to, right? We are not the same as women. We do not have the same thoughts, the same intentions, the same goals in life, right? We have to separate ourselves from that. And we have to say, okay, what is a woman pursuing? She's pursuing a high-value man, a man that has these characteristics of leadership roles, a man that can take care of her family, that can provide for her, that can solve problems. That's what she is pursuing. So that's what we need to pursue ourselves. And so I firmly, very strongly, firmly believe that if we just focus on that and we just pursue that, she's always going to feel uncomfortable. And that's a good thing. She should feel uncomfortable that she could lose you at any time to another woman. Women want these roller coaster rides through relationships, you know. We always get comfortable when we get into a long-term relationship, or maybe when the ring goes on the finger or whatever, you know, and then we get relaxed. As men, we get relaxed, you know. We're all guilty of it. Like, just think, you guys have been married before. At the start it was something, and then you get relaxed, you know. She also does the same thing as well. We have to stop that relaxation seeping into the relationship, because it's actually a toxic trait. We should always be on our toes, right? You should always be pursuing this excellence in your life, and she should always be pursuing you. That keeps her on her toes, and you will always be like on the edge and on your trying to make sure that your next step that you take is going to be of excellence, and you're going to achieve something for that. I think if you think about these things now, you know, before you go into a relationship, and maybe, you know, some of these things that I've said, you'll think about past relationships and you'll think, you know what, there's something there, you know, there's something that went wrong, but it can be fixed going forward. It's all about learning, and it's all about thinking about some of these relationship problems on a deeper level, because you as a man, it's your job to fix these problems, to understand them, and then to lead, right? She wants to follow someone that knows what they are doing. So those are my thoughts anyway, and that's something I've been thinking about for a while. And I think that there's, you know, I think there's something in there that you must at least take a look at when going forward. I know for myself, like this whole journey through this whole dating in Ukraine really opened my eyes up to many different things. And I'm not saying that those things are specific to Ukraine, but I think in the West, a lot of these things, if you try and talk about them or implement them in a relationship, it's very, very difficult. But the difference between dating over in a Western country and dating over in Ukraine is that these things are expected of you. And if you don't bring these things to the table, you are not seen as a man that can lead in a relationship. So those are my thoughts anyway. I'd love to hear what you guys think as well, based on your own experiences. Like, definitely stick them down in the comments below. And maybe there's some advice that you've learned along the way as well that you can help other guys out with as well. So that's the video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Just some random thoughts that rattle around in my head every now and then. I feel as though I need to get them out, otherwise my head will explode. But if you like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I guess we'll see you guys in the next.